Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome, everybody, Team 7, 8, and 9. We're doing our reading today. It's our fourth PowerPoint. We're talking about the Iliad today, which is the epic poem by Homer. I have included a link here under epic poem, the words right here, epic poem, to get a little synopsis and summary of the poem. It's about a 6-7 minute video by a really nice professor if you want more information. All right, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Some of you may have heard that phrase before. We'll talk about Helen in just a moment. As you see, she was a very beautiful woman. Okay, here's our objectives today. We're down to our second and third bullet about how the Mycenaeans ruled the sea trade. We talked about that last time. Today we'll talk a little more about how the works of Homer influenced Greek culture as we talk about the Iliad. Now, include some photos here. Here's your first note. The Greek goddess Hera in the blue, Aphrodite in the brownish, and Athena with the shield wanted to know who was more beautiful. So they asked Zeus, the king of the gods, to be the judge. Zeus knew that this was not a good idea, so he told the three goddesses to go to the city of Troy and just ask for Prince Paris to judge. Okay, so we see there Zeus knew better. He was a wise man. He knew better than to judge a woman on who's the most beautiful. Next. The three goddesses go to Troy to find Paris. The goddesses really want to win, so they try to cheat and bribe Paris with different gifts, as you see in the picture there. They're all trying to get his attention. Athena offered to make Paris the greatest warrior in the world. Hera offered to make Paris a great king. And Aphrodite offered Paris the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris, of course, chose Aphrodite as the most beautiful goddess because he wanted the most beautiful woman in the world. He wanted to win. So what did he win? Second bullet, he got the most beautiful in the world was Helen. That's a picture from the bottom. She was the daughter of Zeus and Leda. Leda was married to the king of Sparta, Tyndareus. But Zeus thought she was so lovely that he didn't care. So Zeus and Leda had a baby, and they named her Helen. Here's a photo of Helen and Paris. Okay, now the problem with Helen being promised to Prince Paris was that she was already married to Menelaus. That's him up on the top there. Looks like a very tough guy. So Paris was abducted, kidnapped, and took her back to Troy. We see on the bottom down there, Menelaus was the brother of the king of Mycenae, whose name was Agamemnon. He even sacrificed his own daughter to help the winds blow in his favor. So the brothers launched 1,000 ships to go to war with Troy and get Helen back. This is where the saying, a face that launched 1,000 ships, come from. Because she was so beautiful and so loved that they could not stand the thought of her being in Troy. So they started a war to get her back. And here's a bunch of the ships heading out to go get her. The war between the Greeks and the Trojans went on for 10 years, with neither side making any progress. One great soldier named Achilles was fighting well and helped the Greeks to partially win the war, even though he tried to get out of the war by dressing like a girl. Achilles was said to be invincible, unable to be killed, except for in one spot, his heels. He was shot in the heel with a poison arrow and was killed. You see the photo? That's where your Achilles is, right on the back of your heel, on the back of your foot. That was the only place he could be harmed. Here's an example of the fight. You see the arrow aiming for his foot. Another great Greek soldier was Odysseus. He was the king of Ithaca and did not want to go to war. He pretended to be crazy so he wouldn't have to fight in the war. He had to go to war anyway. The Greeks needed a plan in order to get into the city of Troy, but the Trojans had a big wall and gate around the city to protect them. It was Odysseus's great plan of putting soldiers into a giant wooden horse to trick the Trojans into opening the gates to the city and pulling the horse into their city. So that was his idea, to trick them. Many of you have heard of the Trojan horse. So there he is. He has an idea. The Greeks did build a giant wooden horse and hid 20 men inside. The Trojans saw that the horse was outside their gates and thought that the Greeks had surrendered and left. After some trickery from a captured Greek soldier who had told the Trojans that the Greeks had fled, the Trojans rolled the horse into their city and had a party to celebrate. So at this point, they think they've won the war. They think these men gave up. They left them this token as a tribute so they would not attack them any further, not realizing what they had just done. So while they were partying inside, the soldiers waited patiently. The Greeks waited until the Trojans went to bed and then got out of the horse and opened the gates of Troy to let in the rest of the Greek army, who were all hiding on ships out at sea. The Greeks set the city of Troy on fire and won the Trojan War. They got Helen back and returned her to her husband, Menelaus. As you see, the city's burning as they escaped out of the Trojan horse. And that is the end of the Iliad, but that's only the beginning of the Odyssey, which we'll do next. I hope you had great luck today, guys. Hope you scored excellent on your Ed puzzle, as always. And I look forward to talking with all of you next time. Everybody from Team 7, 8, 9, have a wonderful day, and best of luck on your quiz today. Bye-bye.